My name is Sanjee and welcome to the Nick and Sanjee podcast, where we share our tips and tricks on how to grow a YouTube channel as we ourselves go on that journey.
Indeed.
So welcome, Nick.
Welcome,
Episode
Sanjee.
2.
Yep, very excited.
We're making great progress here. So today's episode is 3 things we wish we knew before we started our YouTube channel. So Nick, why don't you kick us off?
I was thinking about this and I actually made a video maybe a year ago about sort of my first year on YouTube. So I was looking back through that and some of the things that I found helped me. And the first one was, which I think we can both agree on, is that people don't really care as much as you think.
Very true.
I think when I first started making videos, I didn't tell anyone for probably at least 6 months, I reckon, apart from yourself, obviously.
Yeah.
I just kept it to myself and made sure my friends didn't know about it, because I was like, what are they going to think of me? And then one day, one of my co-workers actually was just browsing through my iPad and discovered my YouTube Studio app. And he's like, wait, you have a YouTube channel? And then from there, like, heaps of people found out about it. But I think I realized, like, people don't really care. It's just like, oh yeah, you got a YouTube channel? Cool. That's good for you. You know, it's kind of like everyone's got an Instagram account.
Yeah.
You don't think people are weird for having an Instagram account. It's just kind of normal. And so, yeah, like when I first started, I think I would have just been a lot more relaxed if I didn't care that much. Mm-hmm. You know, what's your experience been with that?
Similar. I think when my first video came out, it was on the cooking stuff. I posted it on my Facebook. I was a bit aggressive.
Right,
I just posted something on Facebook and people are like, this is ridiculous. But I think I used the fact that I was talking about a topic that I knew I didn't know anything about.
Yep.
And it was always going to be a comedic, poke fun at this guy kind of thing.
Yep.
So that also made me feel comfortable about, I just put a video out on something that I clearly don't know about. And the video makes sure he doesn't know.
Yep.
But it got the ball rolling for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think over time that happened. But then when I pivoted the channel to personal finance, I didn't tell anyone either.
Yeah, right.
I think I just let the algorithm do its thing.
Yeah.
My housemates knew, I think you knew, and then that was really it.
Yep.
And then over time, I've had, not many, but I've had like maybe 2 or 3 people say, hey, I was looking for this thing and I saw your face on it. And I was like, yes, it is there, but don't take too much notice of it.
I've had the same experience with Upbank. People have been they come up to me and said, oh, I was searching up Upbank and your video came up. And I'm, okay. Yeah, I didn't start a YouTube channel for ages. And I actually had wanted to start one for a long time prior to when I did start it. And I actually had started a YouTube channel a long time ago, probably like maybe 8 years ago or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But I hadn't told anyone for the same sort of reasons. I was like, oh, what do people think?
Yeah.
And the whole time, I look back now and I think if I'd kept up with that channel 8 years ago, where would it be now?
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Don't start with that.
And so I think it was literally just worrying about what people would think.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't worried, then, you know, who knows where my channel would have been today. So, I think I've had people ask me as well, what's a good piece of advice when you're just starting a YouTube channel? I think it's just like, just make stuff because, no one's really going to see it in the first, even the first 20 videos, I didn't get many views at all. So it's not like, I'm in front of this huge audience of people at the beginning. That's kind of my experience on that.
It's good advice.
The next one was just, one thing I wish I knew before I started was how much I was going to learn. Because I think I didn't realize the value of just the skills in general that you develop, like doing a YouTube channel, like from videography and audio and lighting, like all the practical stuff. And then even like writing, I think is a big one.
Yes.
Like script writing. I didn't realize how involved it would be.
Yeah.
But how much you have to develop those skills. And that's one of the things I really like about YouTube in general is just the fact that it kind of forces you to grow broadly.
Yes.
Have you found that?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the, I'll be honest, the camera, the lighting, I don't want to know. You kind of have to know to make it look decent. Otherwise people notice. And audio. The script writing as well. I think to do it well, you really need to you really do need to learn it. The whole thing around the storytelling, the hooks, all of that, yeah, is super important. And then it made me think a lot around, I think, so I'm a big Top Gear fan.
Yep.
And those guys would often say, I think even in some of their videos, they randomly said, it's all about the writing and how to write a good TV episode. It doesn't matter the characters, it doesn't matter the actors, it doesn't matter the technology, it doesn't even matter about the cars. It's around how to write well a story that people will be interested in. So yeah, that was the surprise one for me as well, was how good you had to be at writing and how quickly you picked up on what good writing looks like in public to then copy.
Yeah, and that's, I think, part of the reason why I wish I knew it before I started, is because I think initially I saw it as just, it's just posting videos. It's not particularly, involved, which is obviously very naive, because it's very, very involved to make YouTube videos. But just the opportunity to learn new stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I think I personally love that, because it's like any opportunity I can to learn new things or to grow, broadly speaking, is really exciting to me. So it's like, if I had known that I could learn all these different skills that could end up eventually even leading to me getting a job, I think I would have started it sooner as well. I would have just gotten into it, because it's a great opportunity to learn. And when it comes to script writing, I even realized I started reading books on how they script films, just to help learn how to be a better storyteller. And that's something I'm still really trying to learn at the moment, is how to tell a story with a video. I think that's what I like about video as well compared to photo. Like, you have to be really skilled to tell a story with a photo, I think, whereas it's a bit easier, I find, to tell a narrative with a video. So yeah, something I'm still working on for sure.
And the handy thing about YouTube actually is, as you learn and you implement, we get data pretty quickly on if it worked, if people liked it, if there's retention.
That's a good point.
Which probably, if you're a movie scriptwriter, you struggle to get that information until you actually watch the video. Yeah. But with us, you can make a quick 5-minute video and say, I'm going to try this new way of doing storytelling and see if it actually worked.
That's such a great point. I hadn't thought of it like that, because it gives you that opportunity to quickly iterate, as we would say in uni, and try new things, and like you say, get that feedback immediately. Again, I think that's one of the crazy things about the internet, like, that has never really been a thing before, because previously, if you made a video, you would have had to show it to people probably in person, and get feedback from people in person. But now you can literally just post it on the internet. It's accessible to everyone, and then you've got data to figure out what's working and what's not. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. The last thing that I wish I knew before starting was just how important consistency is, especially, I think in general, but particularly with YouTube, and that it's okay for your videos to suck. Because I think it was Ali Abdul was saying how, your first 100 videos will probably suck.
Yes. I think we're still in that.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking maybe it's my first 250 or something.
Yes.
But like, that's okay, and like, that's part of the process. And you have to, I think that was one of the things that I really liked about what Ali said and encouraged me in the early days, was if you spend a lot of time just pumping out that first 100, 200 videos, then you can get to making good stuff faster. But it's normal and okay for your content to suck at the beginning, especially if you're not like a pro video maker or have previous experience with it. Like, making videos is a whole new skill. And then the consistency part for me is just kind of like what we were saying, like having regular feedback. Like, the more consistently we put out content, the more regular we get feedback, the more opportunity we've got to learn. And then I think we both experienced, you get momentum.
Yes.
And you get a feel for what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like any practice or skill or hobby or whatever it is. Like, the more you practice it, the more you do it consistently, the better you're going to get at it. It just makes sense.
Do you also find, on the consistency topic, you need to be doing something every day on your YouTube channel to keep the momentum? Or do you find you can go a couple of days without doing something for your YouTube channel. So I mean, it doesn't have to be recording. It can be a bit of editing, can be working on a thumbnail, or you know, you need to do it daily, or you don't. You can go a couple of days without anything, and it's okay.
I mean, I'd be curious to hear what your experience is, but I've found it's kind of just what you put in is what you get out in that sense. So if you're doing it every day, you're going to get more results or more practice time than if you just do it once every couple of days or once a week or something. And I think even having just output goals, I think we've both found is really helpful. So aiming for one video a week, or, you know, one video a fortnight, whatever is achievable, and then just sticking to that. So, you know, if you do the whole video on one day, then great. You've achieved your output goal. Rather than saying, I'm going to, you know, work on my YouTube channel every single day, which is potentially less achievable. You know, it's kind of, I think it's about what's achievable for you. Yeah. You know, what's gonna work for you personally. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it is very much around what works for you. I think I've tried a bit of both, and I just noticed your FIFA series.
I've got a lot of FIFA.
He's got a lot of FIFA. But yeah, I noticed for me, I need to be doing a little bit every day.
Yeah.
Even if it's something very simple. Otherwise, it's very hard for me to get back on the bike. And especially the recording bit is important. So I need to be recording something at least once a week. Otherwise, it's very hard for me to get back into that. And I don't want to hit record. It's really bad. So I try to record something every week, and every day I try and at least open the laptop and do a little bit for YouTube. And I don't know if that's a mindset thing, if it's a personal thing, if it's like I don't take it seriously enough yet, whatever it is, but I've had to force myself to do a little bit every day to keep the momentum going, to keep some kind of hunger there.
Yep.
What I used to do was check my YouTube Studio app, which I think is actually dangerous, because then you get sad about the fact that your YouTube channel is not growing, but it's because you're not doing anything for your YouTube channel, and it reiterates this sadness. So try not to check the Studio app, but I do everything else. I think actually one thing I could simply do is just respond to comments. That's something I'm terrible at. But that's definitely a quick, 5-10 minutes you can just spend a bit of time. Keeps you fresh on your channel, but gets you going.
No, definitely. How about yourself? What are some things you wish you knew before you started?
So I'm quite lucky because I get to go after you and I get to see your list first. And I saw that, I thought, yes, agree with everything you say, especially the people don't care.
Yeah.
Because they have got enough things to worry about that they're not actually paying any attention.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually 5 minutes of their headspace and then they don't care. So you have a lot of good time to get started initially. The thing for me, two things for me were actually you just need to worry about your first 3 or 5 videos. I think people often worry, and I think this also comes from blog posts, of when someone wants to start a blog, they worry about not knowing what, their 10, 20 articles are going to be. And you just have to say to them, you just need to come up with your first 3 to 5 videos and pump them out as quickly as possible. And then you'll find the thread will come through around, okay, I should do a video on that. Now I should do a video on this. And you can get going from there. So that should hopefully remove any concerns people have around, I don't have enough ideas, who am I to talk about it? Just come up, even if you just come up with 1 or 2 videos, you'll realize as you go through that process, you may actually have more than you need for more than 1 video. So you actually may have 2 or 3 videos worth of stuff for that one idea. And again, that comes from experience. When you do a YouTube channel, you make a couple of videos, you realize, I tried to put too much into that video. I should actually have made it 2 videos. And again, that all comes through. So just focus on your first 3 videos even, and get them out, and then you'll find very quickly your other ideas will come through.
100%. I find the same thing as well. Even when I've gone for a while where I haven't made a video and my problem has been ideas, even if I just publish a random video about something kind of unrelated to my main channel, I've found it just kickstart something. I don't know what it is exactly. But then, yeah, the ideas start to just come again because you're in the process. And I even had someone ask me, like, how do you come up with all your video ideas? And I said part of it is just ideas coming from content that I'm filming in current videos. So, like, you know, I might make a video about a mic, and then that will make me think about, you know, how to edit audio or something like that. And it's like, oh, there's another video idea, you know? So it's like, I find that video ideas beget video ideas in a way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like you say, I think if you've just got a couple of ideas at the beginning and then just make them, they'll, you know, it'll just snowball and continue as long as you keep the momentum going. So
goes from there. Yeah. Exactly. The other one for me was look at what is already popular and use that as a prompt for what video ideas you want to make. So this is an interesting, I'm not going to call it a paradox, but it's an interesting element around YouTube where people will say, I have this idea to make a video on this topic, but then I checked and someone else has already made a video on it.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm not going to make a video on it. Yeah. And it's like, oh no, actually it's the reverse. It's, if you think of a video and you can see someone else has already done a video on it and they've got views, that means that there's some kind of audience out there for that idea. You could also make a video. And the natural thing to say is make yours a little bit different, make yours a little bit unique. But I think you will do that anyway. So you don't have to focus too much on making yours unique. Just make a video on that exact same topic and you'll naturally make it unique. Yeah. And I say this because to this day, my most popular video is still my ComSec how to use a tutorial. And it's such a simple video. And I was not the first person to make that video. I wasn't the last, but there's still like an audience out there for it. And I saw someone else had done it, and it was actually, you know who it was? It was Justin Baldori, who I haven't seen recently on YouTube. So if he hears this by any chance, please restart your channel. And I noticed he for whatever reason has stopped his channel, but he had a video on how to use ComSec, and I thought that's a great idea. I'll do that as well. And yeah, super handy video idea. And yeah, so I just think if anyone else is out there thinking on this topic, just have a look at what's already out there and then make a video on that. Yeah,
following on from that, I think also depending on the niche you're in, like because I do tech stuff, often people are wanting multiple videos of the same thing anyway, particularly like reviews. So, you know, if you're like me and you're looking to buy a new product, you'll end up watching as many review videos from as many different people as you can possibly find to get a sense of what the product's like. I don't know if it's any like different in finance in terms of like wanting to watch different perspectives of the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely like that in tech. Is it?
Yeah. Well, even in my personal experience, when I got the Sony, when I got the camera, I looked at other people's. I looked at like 7 or 8 videos on the same thing just to see. And I don't even think I was listening that much. I was just looking at the cuts in the video. I forgot what they're called. You know, you can cut up your channel.
Oh, the chapters?
The chapters, yeah. And I was just looking at the chapters just to see the thing they hated. That's all I want to know was what did you not like? It is whatever you didn't like about the camera is something I can manage. I'm happy with that. In finance, I think people do look for competing views, but I have that insight more from my channel. I can see when I look at my own YouTube analytics, I can see people looking at other finance channels like New Money, Brendan's channel, and various other finance channels. And so they must be doing it. Yeah. But it does help when you can see a couple of views on the same topic.
Totally. I even think like, I'm trying to think of the expression, it's like imitation is the highest form of flattery or something like that.
Yes.
And as well, Austin Clown's book, Steal Like an Artist, if you read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's all good advice because it's like, and even I think I'm thinking of the right book, Mastery, I think it is. And he talks about the idea of you kind of imitate in order to learn the rules.
Yes.
100%. And then once you've learnt the rules, then you can break them correctly or in ways that are unique to yourself, and then you can make your own content that's really unique. You know what I mean? I think if you copy someone else, it's always going to be unique in the sense that it's you doing it versus someone else. And you obviously don't want to be completely ripping off other people, you know, like I've heard of people copying people's scripts and just rereading it. That kind of thing. Okay. So you don't want to be doing that. You know, that's a bit extreme, but copying the style, copying the format, I think like it makes a lot of sense because you're learning as well from people who are a lot further along on the journey, who know what they're doing. And so it's a good way to get a sense of what works and what doesn't work. Yeah.
It's a good idea. I think I definitely need to take that advice actually. As my channel pivots, I need to find those other people and just sort of do similar videos to what they're doing. Because that might help.
Totally. I've even been thinking the same thing with like more vlog style stuff. I was like, I need to go back and watch some more Maddie because he does vlogs really well.
Maddie, Casey, Peter.
Yeah.
I used to love the Peter McKinnon videos where I'm just, now that I think about it, I'm just watching some guy in Canada and he, you know, when he cleaned his garage and everyone was surprised. You could see he did a video where he just cleaned his garage and he was just chatting. And I remember seeing the comments, everyone's like, I can't believe I just watched a guy clean his garage, but I enjoyed it. And I was like, I enjoyed it too.
That's really good fun. That's really fun.
It's good fun. And I guess that's where they transition from being a personality to giving you good information.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I would have watched him purely to learn about Adobe Final Cut.
That's how he got big, I think.
Yeah. Not Adobe Final Cut. What is it? Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
And then I just stayed around because he's such a cool guy to watch and listen to. And same with Maddie. And
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so moving on to recent learnings for our channel. So this is the segment where we just discuss specific to one of our videos or our channel in general. What have we recently learned and are trying to implement or, mistakes we've made. So, Nick, go ahead with your one.
Yeah, so mine is something I've been thinking about for a little while now, like a few months, more seriously than I was previously, which is just how much click-through rate is a determiner for how much YouTube will push your content.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear your perspective on it as well, but I think even David mentioned about how that's a big thing, and I watched a lot of even interviews with Mr. Beast talking about his sort of strategy and what works, and he I'm pretty sure he made the point that title and thumbnail is like 80% of the video, which is like crazy to me to think that that's that important. And it's kind of frustrating because it's like you put so much effort into the video, but I think it just tells me I need to make a lot more effort with my titles and thumbnails, and I have been more conscious of it. And one thing I tried recently was I hired a thumbnail designer just through Fiverr. And got him to design some thumbnails for me. And they were definitely more catchy, I reckon, than mine were, like my normal ones were. And the click-through rate reflected that. The click-through rate on average was higher with the ones I had bought and got designed, and then as a result I noticed that YouTube was recommending my content more. I think after it was recommended and then people clicked on it, the retention is then what determined whether YouTube kept pushing it. That's what I found. So I guess that's where you've got to have the two in alignment. You know, it's like you can have a great video, a great title and thumbnail, but if your video sucks, it's still not going to go anywhere. And the same is kind of true in the opposite direction. If you've got a great video, it won't go anywhere if you don't have a good title and thumbnail. So I've been trying to work on that a lot. And I even speaking of copying, I've been trying to replicate this guy's sort of style, the way he designed my thumbnails, because it seemed to work. So I'm trying to do a similar sort of aesthetic just to see how it goes for a while. But what's your experience with that kind of thing?
I totally agree around the click-through, and I realise in this segment we'll need to explain stuff as well to people because they might not know it. So we'll do. So I think click-through rate, if you're hearing about it for the first time and you're a new YouTuber, click-through rate is the amount of people who clicked on the video divided by the amount of people who saw your video. Who would have seen your thumbnail. So I think it's clicks versus divided by impressions or something like that. Because
impressions,
YouTube would have told you how many people would have seen the thumbnail, and they're basically saying the proportion of people who saw the thumbnail how many actually clicked on it. And then the second thing you talked about was retention, which is how many people stayed. I actually don't know the exact metric around retention, but is it how many people stayed and watched your video all the way to the end, and at various points did they leave the video?
So I think it's like if you have 60% retention, then 60% of people watch pretty much to the end. Yeah. What just on click-through rates, do you have an idea of what a good click-through rate is?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, and I think everyone's asked, and I think around 5% I've heard.
Okay.
If you're getting into double digits, like anything over 10% is fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've also, like, it's also dynamic based on initially when your video goes out, you usually have a high click-through rate because people that will initially watch your video will be your general subscribers and people who actually like your content. And so that's good. And then YouTube uses that to then learn and say, over time, I will now promote this to a wider and wider audience. And it probably looks at the gradient and it says, as I've promoted it to more and more people, has the click-through rate dramatically decreased or has it continued to stay high? And that's probably how it learns and knows this is a good video versus this is a good video for Nick and Sanjee's channel versus this is a good video for the broader audience as well.
Totally.
That's probably something we should get our legendary friend David to get in on.
100%.
And walk us through.
That sounds good.
So mine is actually very related to yours, is the importance of having a thumbnail even ready to go, because I'm now in a situation where I've got a video ready to go. It's my superannuation video, but I haven't put together a thumbnail, and I'm thinking about the burden of putting the thumbnail together and it's delaying me from putting out this video. So this is terrible because it's already a Thursday and I usually try and get my videos out, at least the first video on Tuesday, Wednesday. So literally as I go home, I'll be whipping together a thumbnail and getting it out there. And I do agree the value of having a thumbnail editor helps so much to take that burden off. And also nowadays you can get thumbnail editors to give you the original file as well. So it's not just the JPEG or the PNG, but they'll give you the Adobe file that you can then use to see exactly how they put it together, the filters they use and all of that. Because there's something about how they can just make it look way cooler than your videos, your thumbnail. And also the value of having the thumbnail idea ready to go at the start before you even get into the video. It's so important. So
because I've found as well, if you have the thumbnail and title ready to go, at the very least, like a strong title, that helps to inform my hook at the beginning. Because I've noticed in my more successful videos, there's always a strong correlation between my title and the first sentence I say in the video. So if I almost repeat the title of the video in the first sentence, I find my retention at the very beginning of the video is higher on average. I think it's because people, they click on the video expecting something. And if you're talking about something else in the first few seconds, or even the first 10 seconds of the video, people are like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I clicked on. And so they'll click away. And your retention, so people leaving the video, will drop off dramatically.
And YouTube notices that.
Exactly.
And it says, hang on, what's this person doing wrong?
So, definitely I agree. Having the thumbnail idea ready before you record is a big thing. And I'm terrible at that. I always leave it to the last thing. It's like, because it's not my area of expertise, but I need to get better at that.
Because it is, we put so much effort into the actual video, but then if no one ever clicks on it, it's all wasted. So you do have to. I think I saw Arak. You know Arak. He's kind of like Mr. Beast, a bit smaller. Does a lot of challenge-based stuff. He's gotten big quite recently, and I did one of his courses, and I think his team or his training team call it like the packaging of the video, which is purely the thumbnail and the title. If you've got good packaging, that really helps encourage people to actually open up your video and watch it. Totally. All right, so to close, Nick, that was quite good. I enjoyed that session and I'm looking forward to the next one.
I agree.
Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at @NickKendall_, and then I'm also on YouTube, obviously, just search up Nick Kendall and I should come up. Not the violinist. I'm not the violinist. I'm the tech videography YouTuber.
That's it. Well, hopefully over time the algorithm will pump you up higher. And so for me, I am Sanjee Sen on YouTube, and also you can find me sanjeesen.com as the website. Don't look for me on Instagram because I've got an Instagram account and it's terrible. And I'll keep saying that until I one day fix my Instagram account. But it is there, but don't pay too much attention to it.
Sounds good.
All right, well, thank you and bye for now.
Bye for now.